The Fox and the Bee by Suzanna S. Wilson. Illustrated and narrated by Alex Crump. Little bee, high up in the tree. Little bee, please tell me what you see. Do you see mountains, the forests, the rivers and the lakes? All I see is the ground, tree roots, big rocks and snakes. Little bee, please tell me what you see. Do you see the white moon, the red sun and the blue sky? Do you see the cows in the fields, the swans on the lakes and the graceful butterfly? All I see are beetles and bugs and worms and maybe a rat that passes by. Little bee, please tell me what you see. Do you see the birds that visit your branches to sing? Or the squirrel that leaps like a coiled spring? All I see are bushes, nettles and docks, brambles, weeds and dandelion clocks. Little bee, please tell me what you see. Do you see the owl that screams in the dead of night? Can you see the menacing badgers over to the right? All I see are the feathers that drop and the mess from the badgers that were once called a brock. Mr. Fox, it's not what it seems. I don't see the fields, mountains and valleys and streams. I don't see the birds, squirrels or the bats at night, or the moon that gives our trees some light. Mr. Fox, please let me explain. I am such an important part of the food chain. I've got no time to stop and stare, to admire the graceful boxing hair, to watch the sunrise on a summer's day, or watch the moon as it fades away. You see, Mr. Fox, I am a worker bee. I have many jobs to do, you see. I collect pollen and nectar and make all the wax. I carry food to the drones and keep the hive free from cracks. I care for our queen who lays all the eggs, which I protect with my life as they lay in their beds. Mr. Fox, even though it may seem that I am happily living the dream, I work all day and I work all night. My wings are in a non-stop flight. So even though I would love to stop and stare, to breathe the smell of the fresh clean air, to admire the animals that roam this wood, even you, Mr. Fox, to admire would be good. So, Mr. Fox, I hope you understand that as I am such an important part of this land, I don't see the things you think I see. All I really see is this tree. The nectar I collect is very close by, so I have no need to fly high in the sky. I have no time to travel to mountains and streams. I have to stay with my strict regime. Without us bees, Mr. Fox, we would be in trouble. The world would really be in a muddle. There would be no fruit, no vegetables, no honey and no crops. All the shelves would be empty in the grocery shops. In fact, humans would not survive. They would surely die without the bees and their hives. There, Mr. Fox, I hope I have explained, and I hope the knowledge you have gracefully gained, whilst you sit and gaze at the top of the tree, in awe of the gifted life of the bee, please think about how lucky you are to have time to sit and admire from afar.